Good morning, friends. Welcome back to Astrology Today. My name is Mel Rose, and I'm here to share your daily aspects. Today is Sunday, August 14, 2022. As the Sun in Leo transit enters its final week, we look back on the summer's peak and all this time of year has brought to us. Confidence, courage, a strong sense of knowing and loving ourselves, a strong sense of appreciation for this life. Venus is also in Leo here. It feels only natural at this time to be very warm with our intimate partners, to shower them with gifts and praise, to make grand gestures and show off. We want to be careful, though, not to express ourselves in ways that overstate our feelings or our resources. Moon in Pisces, making ingress to Aries this afternoon. The waning gibbous moon in Aries is a fresh start in its own right. It is the moment when we stop looking back, thinking, here's what I would change about last time, and start looking forward and say, right, then all this stuff can go now. Aries influence here will make it easy to take action. Fixed fire and cardinal fire, my mistake. Fixed fire and cardinal fire. Though it is all a part of our personal plans for global domination, we move into a new cycle of tasks to complete. We start on the moon side of the page today. This is where we explore the inner life, how it feels to be us, and who we are and how we show up at home and among the people we keep close. At 6:58 this morning, Central Standard Time, friends. Moon goes conjunct to Neptune, Cancer and Pisces. Conjunction intensifies the influence of both planets involved, and this is a very watery vibe here. We are very sensitive now to a point where we can become overwhelmed even by all the intuitive data that's coming in. A blessing of this intensity is that we get to notice in what way we feel vulnerable to bad vibes coming in, and then sensing this, we can then speak and act to protect ourselves. At 9:53 this morning, Moon goes sextile to Mars, Aries, Cancer, and Scorpio. We can really feel ourselves at this hour, and we engage in good sportsmanship. That is to say that we cooperate while we compete, and good results flow wherever we act. Then at 10:11, which is really just about 20 minutes later, Moon goes sextile to Pluto. So there's a lot of overlap here between this compete and cooperate and this next one, which is a Cancer and Scorpio vibe. And it can be an intense emotional vibe, especially where it applies to those of us, to those that we've become close to someone that we are close to. It's okay to lean into the discomfort at this time and try to work things out, clear the air if there is air to be cleared. And then we have a void of course period here that lasts 5.5 hours. Auspicious time for a serious talk with yourself, or with spirit, or with a loved one. It's all one and the same after all. And since this void of course represents the transition from the end of one lunar cycle to the beginning of the next, we can consider this a time to make a fresh start. Then the moon makes ingress to Aries at 3:43 this afternoon. Moon in Aries points to our feelings about ourselves and about our desire to get moving. This is a time to take initiative from the heart. And then this evening at 10:53, Moon goes trine to Venus, Taurus, Cancer, and Libra. This aspect feels just like being in love. It's warm, it's tender, it's romantic. And Venus is in Leo, friends, so perhaps a little peacock-like display will come out at this time. There are a few things happening on the sun side of the page today. This is where we explore our experience and self-expression in our work, social, and civic lives. At 12:10 this afternoon, just afternoon, Sun goes opposite to Saturn, and this one's going to be with us through August 22. Leo, Capricorn, and Aquarius. We may find ourselves struggling with a low mood. Some anger or depression can come up. A feeling of being unnecessarily restricted may bring us into conflict with some perceived or real authority. It may help to take a break from any tasks or projects that feel overwhelming or like too much work at this time. And if you can't take a break from something that feels overwhelming or like too much work, then it's a good time to also reach out and find some help. Then at 12:41, Mercury goes quincunx to Chiron through August 16, so just a couple of days. Aries, Gemini, and Virgo vibes. We may observe some anxiety about taking care of our everyday problems and tasks. We may also find we would rather not stand out in any way. It can be difficult to manage the mind while we're going through these changes. The sun's trine to Chiron here says it's a-okay to be yourself, but if you don't feel like sharing your light with the rest of us, honey, you don't have to. And then at 4:28 p.m., Mars goes trine to Pluto, and this is through August 28. Aries and Scorpio. This is a highly focused and ambitious vibe. It's a time when we can face challenging situations with confidence. Our judgment, especially around ending things and beginning things, is very clear and correct. The trine blessing here, right there, my friends, even seems to suggest that we can pursue transformation at this time, and we may just catch it. And then at 4:45, Saturn reaches its perihelion. This is Saturn's closest approach to the sun in its elliptical orbit around the sun. And Saturn's pretty far out there, so it's not very close. But the increased proximity of the two here says that there's some illumination. Some light is being shed on the answers to these Saturn retrograde questions about our personal sense of responsibility to the collective. And speaking of Saturn retrograde, in the ongoing column today, we have a number of retrogrades at this time, and they are ongoing. And so much else is going on the page that I'm just going to put this up here for a moment and then put them aside. Suffice it to say that retrograde is an optical illusion that changes the way we receive and express a planet's energies. The planetary vibe is directed toward our inner experience, there to illuminate the things we can work with to make personal progress. I will come back to talking about them more when there's less going on the page. Just understand that there is a lot of inner work and transformation underway in each and every one of us at this time, okay? The experience is personal, but the effect is universal. These changes are worth going through. They're worth embracing. They're worth, having a positive attitude about them. But it is a lot of internal work that we're doing, so give yourself and other people some grace. Venus is opposite to Pluto through tomorrow, August 15. Taurus, Libra, and Scorpio. Green eyes are so pretty, but jealous behavior is not. In my experience, jealousy has had the primary use of showing me what I wanted or what I did not want. Secondarily, it can make me do incredibly stupid and unkind things, which is why I make a point to notice when I feel envious or jealous, because being aware of that emotion is the first step I can take toward having a handle on it, because I believe in being happy for other people when they get what they wanted, even if it was what I also thought that I wanted. North Node is conjunct to Uranus through tomorrow as well. Gosh, it seems like that one's been with us for, I guess, about a month. So, this represents the shifting. I'm sorry. This represents this sort of shifting landscape or availability of our resources. I told you the story about the problems we've had with the grocery store, and I know a lot of people have just had trouble sort of getting the things that they need and desire, or having to go outside their regular mode of receiving the things that they need and desire in order to get exactly what it is that they need. So, this has been an ongoing vibe with Uranus in Taurus since 2019. And then, this month-long conjunct with North Node has just really brought the feeling into a more intense place where we notice it a lot more. And, that's good. It's good to, be aware of the frustration and the anxiety that can come up around that shifting availability of resources, and it's also good to try to be flexible about how we go about getting what we need. Being rigid isn't helping us at this time at all right? And then, Sun is square to Uranus here through tomorrow, August 15. Nope, through August 18. That's a Leo and Aquarius vibe, but the Sun's square here is to Uranus conjunct Neptune. They are taking up the same place in the sky, so the angle is pretty much the same. And Leo and Aquarius, there's a feeling of anticipation in the air here, and it has something to do with this intent focus on this shifting availability of resources. A change is coming in, perhaps this coming Thursday, I believe, when the Sun goes quincunx to Neptune, indicating a turning point for us. Sun is also trine to Chiron here through the 17th, Aries and Leo. Let the good times roll, friends. Put on your favorite weird hat and join the festivities as your beautiful self, of course. Blessings to follow, genuine efforts at being genuinely you. Okay? And also, when we seek to be more genuinely like ourselves, perhaps we give ourselves a little more grace, we loosen up, and we open ourselves up to, alternative ways of getting what we need. Mars is square to Saturn here through August 18, and sextile to Neptune through the 21st. Mars plus Saturn speaks to active labor. And the square challenge really advises against putting too much active labor into something that isn't rewarding your efforts. That Saturn retrograde tells us that the work we're doing is on the inside. It's work on ourselves, on our own sense of responsibility, especially in Aquarius, to the community and to the collective. So, don't work too hard right now. Mars plus Neptune speaks to acting on our fantasies, and Mars is bold and sexy here, ready to play, and Neptune is open to sensual sharing. The cooperative vibe there says that we may find a playmate who is ready to connect with us at this time. It should be really obvious if they're into us, and if it isn't, we have Mars on our side here, okay? We can just ask, but listen, there's a difference between putting ourselves out there or asking the question and then trying too hard. If you find yourself trying hard because you feel like you're not getting a clear answer, take it as a no and get on with your life. Let's not waste our bold and sexy skills here on people who aren't clear about what they want. Coming up on Tuesday, Mercury goes trine to Uranus, and this is going to bring us some perhaps exciting, entertaining, or even enlightening interactions. Wednesday, Sun goes quincunx to Neptune, and this really acts as a point of pivot or a real turning point for us. I'm kind of putting this together with that Sun square Uranus because I think things are about to change in terms of what we feel we need or desire, or how we can get that. And then Thursday, Venus goes trine to Jupiter and brings in this gift, this blessing of gifts that grow us on the inside. And then we come back around to having questionable judgment with Mercury quincunx Saturn. And then a third quarter moon in Taurus will grace us next Thursday with an opportunity to let all that old shit go for good. And that's it for today's astrology, friends. Thanks for tuning in. Please like my video, subscribe to the channel, click the notifications bell. I post here every day, and I wouldn't want you to miss a thing. For a longer, less formal version of this read that includes further insight from the tarot, please check out my other astrology channel, Astrology Today and Tarot with Mel Rose. The link is in the description. I appreciate you all so much for tuning in. My love and gratitude go out to each and every one of you, and I will see you all back here tomorrow for more Astrology Today.